It smelled delicious, and it made the man's mouth water. Oh, it smells so good. But he noticed the people sitting around the table were thin and sickly and appeared famished. They were stressed and upset. They were holding long spoons with very long handles. Each found it possible to dip their spoon into the pot of stew and take a spoonful, but because the handles were so long and so much longer than their arms, they couldn't get the spoons back to their mouths because they would run into each other's spoons, things would fall off the spoons, and the stress and distress just continued. The man shouted at the sight of this misery and suffering. "This is terrible." God said, "You have now seen hell." Behind the second door, the room appeared exactly the same. There was the same large round table and the same large pot of stew that made the man's mouth water. But the people also had the very long spoons, but they all looked nourished and happy, and they were laughing and talking. It was a very different atmosphere and feel in this room. The man said, I don't understand. And God smiled and simply said, "Love only requires one skill. These people learned early to feed one another. This is heaven." We have the ability to make our experience on earth feel like hell on earth or like heaven on earth. We have that choice depending on how we engage those around us, how we support each other, how we're there for each other, both internally and externally. See, we're all here to seek unity, wholeness within ourselves and without. In fact, God created us in this community because we're all here to walk each other home, and we all have talents. It takes the accountant, the architect, the builder, the doctor, the teacher. Good thing we all don't have to be every one of those parts. We're here for each other, just like trees in a forest. If you notice, this picture, you can particularly see the roots and how far they go, and they extend off screen. Most of the time, we don't get to see the roots or the web of connection, right? But I thought this was a good picture to let us see it. Because what we don't realize about trees is that they actually have roots underground connecting all the trees around them for miles. Trees are all connected. In fact, they talk to each other. They talk to each other using a fungal network. It's pretty incredible. They send chemical, hormonal, and slow pulsing electrical signals to communicate all sorts of things, from predators and bugs to a forest fire and nutrients. When there's a fire, trees will indicate and tell other trees it's coming. If they are losing the battle and they know they're going to go down, they will dump all of their water and nutrients into the roots, sending it out to other trees, so nothing goes to waste. It's pretty incredible. So trees literally stand together, just like our song, right? And when we interfere with this ecosystem of any sort, we create problems. There are what we call mother trees. They're usually the largest tree around for miles, and they actually support all the other trees around them. So we've noticed through our research and our accidental happenstance that when you take out a mother tree, you actually end up having several other trees around them fall. Because we don't realize that they are that connected, they support one another. In fact, little saplings need so much more than the bigger trees that if you don't grow saplings yourself and take immaculate care of them, they will not survive in the wild alone, not without the mother trees and big trees around them. Because it takes those bigger trees to feed the little trees. They are very vulnerable So it takes extra to ensure their survival and safety. Does that sound like parents to you? Yeah, to me, it sounds like they're built in a family. So we see this not only in the animal kingdom, we see this in every part of life. So we are designed to have this community for us. And the idea is that our friends can be the connection for us. Our community is there for us to be the messenger for spirit. When we can't connect internally, we can connect with our friend. Because our friend is the messenger of spirit. Our friend can give us God's love when we can't feel God's love. It's a beautiful thing. So it is time for us to reconnect, because just like trees, we don't do good alone either. We aren't designed that way. And in fact, during quarantine, we weren't able to get our hugs. We wilted. Yeah, we need each other. So it's time to reconnect with ourselves, reconnect with spirit, and reconnect with this entire community. It's really important because hard times do come, but we can get through them together. What does that look like? Anybody have an idea what that is? What is that? What's that? Insects. Yes, it is. This is fire ants. Fire ants can come together in a flood and form a raft to keep their entire community alive. And in fact, they can float out like this for a month. They can live through a flood as tiny little ants together for a month. You know why that is? Well, they did some research and looked into it. It's because they are 90% connected on every one of their limbs. If you were to zoom in, 90% of their limbs are touching one another. It's their connection to each other, feeling each other, getting the impulses, the instincts, watching out for each other, passing along food when they need to. It's that 90% connection that lets them survive that. That's incredible. Now, we might not love fire ants, okay? But we can take something from them, right? I think they have a piece of advice and wisdom that we can take from this. So we need to bond together like fire ants. Because if we are 90% connected, nothing can break us. So if you are in the position to offer help, offer that help. If you are needing help, ask for that help. Because it doesn't matter who gives the connection. Once you're connected, you're connected. We often worry we're a burden to someone and we don't want to ask. But one of my favorite studies that I learned in one of my first psychology classes was that when you ask someone for a favor, they actually, and they agree and they do the favor, they actually like you more. Your feelings to them stay about the same, but they like you more for doing you a favor. Isn't that interesting? And they found this time and time and time again. What is up with that? Well, it gave them a sense of purpose, a sense of loyalty to you. It increased the connection you have. That action reinforced to them that they do want to do things for you. They care about you. And they get the positive feelings for doing that good deed. So when you ask for help, it is as much for them as it is for you. Keep that in mind. So yes, we've been through a lot, but when you ask, you help everyone. So we are designed to ask for help. It has been built into the system. In fact, we can see this. So, designed to ask for help. We need to help each other up as we climb and ascend to our connected space with Spirit. Because Genesis 2:18 states, "Then the Lord God said, 'It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper who is just right for him.'" It is not good for man to be alone. And let's not get caught up on pronouns here. humans. It is not good for humans to be alone. I will make a helper. There was an intention from the beginning that we are here to help one another on purpose, designed for that purpose. And in fact, when we give someone the opportunity to help us, we give them the opportunity to embody Christ consciousness. Galatians 6:2 says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Because I am you and you are me. And when we do it together, I am more united. I am more connected to the one essence of all that is. So when I connect with you, I am more godlike. I am more whole. Same with you. So we need to not get caught up in differences of opinion, politics, illusions of separateness. Because it is just that. It's an illusion. And it's not helpful. So we are here to unite, to be like the fire ants and be connected. So in the words of Bill Withers' 1972 classic, you just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand, because we all need somebody to lean on. If there's a load that you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load. If you just call me, lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Oh, man, there's so much there. It's like deep, too. And so let's all practice being connected. And there's so many ways to connect by helping out one another. And now is the time to bless our gifts and offerings for the church here this morning. There's a tithing bowl in the back of the sanctuary. And so now I'd please ask you to hold your gifts in your hands as we come together with our offertory prayer. For divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. And so it is. We have some more lively music coming in from Dondi. Thank you, Dondi.
What a wonderful message, Kayla. I'd like to sing a little, a very simple song, and I think most of you know, and if you'd like to sing along with me, please do. It's called This Little Light of Mine, and it's just real simple. The first verse is This Little Light of Mine. Second verse is I've got the light of grace, and then the last verse is We've got the light of love. Okay? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I've got the light. I've got the light of grace. I'm gonna let it shine. I've got a light of grace. I'm gonna let it shine. I've got a light of grace. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. We've got the light. We've got the light of love. We're gonna let it shine. We've got the light of love. We're gonna let it shine. We've got the light of love. We're gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time, the last verse. We've got the light of love. We're gonna let it shine. We've got the light of love. We're gonna let it shine. We've got the light of love. We're gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Donnie. We really do appreciate you. And now it's time to bless these wonderful offerings. So we say, thank you, God, for we know that through Spirit, that as we give, so shall we receive. And so now we dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will, your work in this ministry, in our lives, and in our community. And so it is. Amen. We'll hold each other in our hearts as we get ready to do our closing songs. Let there be peace on earth and aloha oi. And in closing, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. And please remember to tune back in next week. Feel free to tell your family and friends about the Facebook event, as the service will remain viewable on the Facebook, Kona's Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitch. Next Sunday speaker is our guest. As a guest is Reverend Sophia Falke. Her topic will be standing steadfast and strong. Well, are there areas in your life where you feel disheartened? Well, because you think you have no control. Well, know that one thing for sure, you never stand alone and thrive in any situation. Want to know what it is? Well, got to wait for next Sunday. Music next week will be Neil Barnett. So join us, don't forget, for part 4, Exploring a Vision, as we get ready to do it.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Well, as we part at this moment, just remember to help one another, hold one another, hug one another, be there for each other until we meet again. We'll do Aloha Oi.
Aloha Oi, Aloha Oi, Eke Ona Ona no Ikalipo, one fond embrace, Ahoy ai ao, until we meet again.
Ahui ho, aloha.
Aloha.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget the Zoom meeting here coming up shortly. We have some snacks up on the top over here, my friends, so please join us for some snacks and sandwiches. And I think we have a little closing music from Dondi.
E Hawaii e kuone au nao e ku home kula iwine oli no au ina bono lani o e Hawaii aloha e haole na o pio Hawaii กันเหียบ่ไม่เนบ่เกลอ